Hello YouTube, Jerry Kirkpatrick here, and in my last video on making the different attachments for the vise, making your vise smarter, I said that I might make a video on soft jaws also. Well, everything is set up here, so I figured I may as well kick this one out and be done with that. So what we're wanting to make is a set of soft jaws that will go on both the movable and stationary jaw of your vise. These particular ones were made out of aluminum. All you need is a couple of pieces of cardboard, which is usually what I make mine out of, my templates. These are only templates that you can put in your drawer, have them available, so when you need to make a new set, you can just pull them out, and they look like this. These started out as just the patterns that look like these, and if you notice, I have an S on this one and an M on this one for stationary and movable jaw. That way, if one wears out faster than the other, or you cut it or something and you only have to make one side, you'll know which pattern to pull out and reproduce. What we'll be making this sample out of now is just a sheet of scratch paper, just an old scratch pad, and that's what these pieces of cardboard are. I always save the cardboard at the back of a scratch pad. And for those of you that stick around to the end of the video, I'll give you something that you'll like. It'll make your life a lot easier. So stick around to the end. So the first thing you'll want to do on your vise is find the center of the jaw. Close them up. You can put a piece of tape like I did, and then find the center of that jaw, and then take and measure the height of the jaws. Sometimes one of them will be a little bit higher than the other. I always measure the tallest one and then add about 1/8 of an inch. Once you find that measurement, make a mark on the bottom of the paper at that height, and then cut that length in half and make a vertical line. Once you get those two, set it up in the vise with your bottom line parallel to the jaw, with the center line centered on the vise. Once you have the paper in place, just take and fold the piece right around the jaw and make a crease on both sides, and that'll give you the width of the jaw. And my jaws are slightly rounded, so I'm going to take an awl and put it right on the line and come out just slightly, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, and poke a hole. That way they won't be so tight that you can't get them on and off. There's the two little holes. and it will fit nice and snug on the jaw. So after you've bent the pieces and punched the little hole in it, draw two lines that intersect with the little hole that you punched, and then cut that section out. Okay, after you have these pieces cut out, place it back so your line is right on top of the jaw and your center line is lined up, and then just fold this over, and with a pencil follow the shape of the vise on the inside. And what you're wanting is this area here for these little tabs to come over. So once you get this drawn up, take it out of the vise again. At this point, you'll draw two lines at about a 45 degree somewhere behind this hip. And this is where it's going to keep those jaws from falling off every time you open the jaws. And then draw a couple of lines on either side of that center line, and they can go all the way to the end. You'll only have these tabs sticking out maybe an inch and a half or two. So the next thing you'll do is mark out these three areas. This is following the waist of the vise. All of this will be removed. This little tab here and this little tab here need to remain to capture the side of the jaw. So here's the piece with those three sections cut out. So let's try it in the vise and see how it looks. So here it is back in the vise, centered on the jaw, and the line is right on the top. We just fold this down, bring these two sides over, make that follow, bring this one down, bring that one down, and then these will fold right in this area. And you can see here that this is way too long, but after you get this folded over, you'll know where to cut it and then put a nice radius on there. And you'll notice that when this portion is brought over and then this portion follows the contour of that top jaw, and you fold this one down, that angle is not going to be 45. So just take a pencil, make a mark right there, and draw a line right straight to that hole that we punched in there, and that will be the cut line. Now that we've cut that on the second line that we've drawn, now you can see the gap in there, and this will hammer over just nicely. Once you get this folded over, pull this down. The end of the vise is right about there, so you pull this down and make a mark right there. This one will be cut off at that mark and a nice radius, and that way you can pull that around and your soft jaws will not fall out. So I know it's a lot of work to get a I will do that over. So I know that it's a lot of work just to get a little paper pattern like that but you do have a much more useful tool that'll last quite some time, and you'll have a pattern, so if you have to rebuild or remake a set of soft jaws. And if you remember at the start of the video, I said that you who came all the way to the end would have something special. Well, here it is. This is a picture of the set that I made, and they are made for a 4.5-inch vise. If you take a picture of this on the screen, pause the video, take a picture of it, put it in your computer, and use your Photoshop hardware, and either increase or decrease the size of the picture that you have until you get the distance where it says where the two arrows are. If you get that to the same dimension as your vise, you'll have one already made. Print it out, take a pair of scissors, cut it out, try it on your vise. If it works, fine. Make sure that you try it both on the front, the movable jaw, and the stationary jaw, because a lot of times those are cast considerably different. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. See you later.